Everything that we do here at Will Talk Tech has one mission, one singular focus, and that is to make creating content effortless. It's been too many times that I have struggled to create something because the technology that I was using was getting in the way, or the technology that I was using was making me not want to create. Easy example, I have a 14-inch M1 Pro, 16 gigs of RAM. That laptop is a beast at everything except editing or editing photos for when I go out and do photo shoots. Those two things, it does not do well. I'm forever getting a beach ball. I can't have a lot of web open. It's to the point that if I open up, if I have a lot of tabs open, I close out everything before I open up the applications. And I'm sure you can understand, if you've been a creator and you've been bootstrapping it for any amount of time, you understand exactly the pain and frustration that comes with that. So it got me to thinking about, why don't I showcase and talk about how I make creating effortless? And I do that leveraging technology. I don't buy something new until it's a friction point, until it's a bottleneck, until it catches my attention that it makes me not want to create. Sometimes we don't want to create just because the tool that we're using is discouraging us and we don't feel like fighting with that tool. How's it going? I'm Will. I'm the creator of Will Talk Tech. I only have one rule. If you watch more than 3 videos, you have to consider subscribing. All right. So in front of me, I have a ton of tech. Some new, some old, but all of it gets the job done. All right. So first things first. If you're a podcaster, I podcast too. This is the Tascam portable X8 or some crazy name like that. And the main reason why I got this is because it allows me to use XLR. So I love being able to connect my own microphone. As you can see out of frame right here, I have the Shure MV88 when I'm sitting here. If I'm over there doing a screencast, I'm using an Electro Voice RE20, and it has a different audio setup. I like this because you get a portable podcast station wherever you want to go. Now, the main reason why I picked this over the Zoom that I have up there on the table is because this has 32-bit float, which makes my life easier. I don't have to be a sound engineer to get good sound out of here. If my gain not high enough, I can pull it up. If I'm peaking, I can pull it down, because this gives me the raw audio file. And this is why I got this. Now, if you do a lot of video editing and you're like me and you don't really love the chopping part of the footage when you're going through doing all your cuts, then you need to gamify it using this controller. This right here, this is the Toolbox Elite. And when I tell you everything about this makes it fun, like clicking the buttons are satisfying, being able to scroll through the timeline using a dial, this honestly makes me want to edit, no joke. Not only does it make me want to edit, but just the other day, my son was with me at Starbucks and I told him he wanted to go, him and my daughter, and I let him know that I had to be there until I finished the edit. And I'd say about 2 hours later, the video that I was editing was maybe about 45 minutes to an hour long. 2 hours long. 2 hours later, I was finished with all my cuts. I cleaned up the audio. I did everything I needed to do. And my son was like, how did you get done so fast? And the reality is, it was because of the Toolbox Elite. Had I had to do that same video, had to do that same edit, I would have been sitting there dragging. Why? Because it's not fun using your mouse and the keyboard to do the cut. But when you're sitting there and you're doing it with this, for whatever reason, it feels gamified. It feels natural for me to just put my hand on here and just go to work. And the fact that I can do it so fast because I have it specifically mapped out to me, I'm telling you, it makes creating effortless, or should I say it makes editing effortless. Another thing that I'm sure if you're cutting videos, you'll have to figure out how to remove the friction from is how to create videos. For a long time, I listened to the hype of your phone in your pocket is good enough. But I now know that your phone in your pocket is good enough if you have good lighting. So like right now I'm in a studio, I'm in my home office and I have lights everywhere. I have a light right here that's bouncing up to the wall, flashing down on me. I have two lights over here trying to knock some of the shadows off this wall behind me. And in this environment, this phone is great. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max and it would do an exceptional job in this. But take me out of this environment, put me in an environment where the lighting is sketchy at best, and this is where the phone fall apart. And this was a major friction point for me when I would try to use my phone or try to create a course around using just your mobile phone. It gave the illustration as if the phone could be, you can use it in any situation, and you really can't. You can use it if you got exceptional light or if you have really good light. If not, then you're gonna have to go to a camera, which is what I did. Now, this is my Sony a7 IV. I use this most of the time. I have a 24-70 lens on here if you're curious. It goes down to 2.8 aperture, and this is what I use for everything. Now, if I'm in a position where I need more light, guess what? I have lights that I bring with me so that if I find myself in a situation where I need more lights, then I have it available to me. As a matter of fact, I should have grabbed it. Let me show you that. Another cool thing about this is I'm able to move away from the camera and I'm able to not lose any of my audio, which is another thing that I found that was a pain point for me. So that's the reason why I use the DJI. I'm no longer tethered to my camera, but more importantly, I don't have to worry about syncing up my audio like I do when it comes to using this. So because I'm not syncing my audio, I don't have to worry about, audio drifting, where at the beginning of your video everything is in sync, but by the end you can tell that it's like a voiceover at that point because it's not matching your lip. Now, these are the lights that I take with me to make my life easier when I'm out and about shooting. And the cool thing about this is these lights are extremely powerful, and not only is they powerful, but they have thread so that I'm able to easily, well, you see they magnetize, but they have, I can magnetize it if I want, and as you can see, but they have threading so I can connect these to a tripod if I want to, and it just makes my life so much easier to have these with me. Now, why do I have this? Why am I telling you this? The reason why I'm showing you all this stuff is because while I do have a ton of tech, I have a ton of tech to make creating content effortless. It's to help me remove the friction of creating content. For example, one of the things that I had a frustrating time with was how to get my color in my video to look right and how to get my skin tones not perfect, but at least acceptable. And you know what I had to do? I went out and I bought a passport checker. So that way I'm able to use this to set my white balance and make sure all my colors are correct. And I do this before every video, even if I'm on my phone. And at the end, when it's time for me to edit, it makes my life so much easier when it comes to just getting to a neutral color that it looks realistic to in this room. And then I can do the color grading and add my own style or flavor or spices to it. Again, everything is about creating content effortless. If I'm at the coffee shop, I'm reaching for my maxes because they have noise canceling. When I'm writing an article or writing a blog post, I'm toning out everything. I love, love, love being in a coffee shop when I'm writing, but I don't want to hear all the noise that's going on around me or the music that's playing overhead. More than likely, I have my B96 playlist on. If you live in Chicago, then you know what B96 is. So I got that playing and I'm writing my article or I'm typing up my email or I'm doing whatever I'm doing as far as writing go. Now, if I am in line for something, let's say I got 10 minutes, I'm waiting in line, or I find myself waiting for a movie to start or something like that, guess what? I'm pulling out my iPad mini. If I have an idea for a video, I can write it down. If I want to work on my mind map that I'm using to research a video idea, I can spend 10 minutes researching that idea. I got some light work to do, so let me do it. And psychologically, for me, this works out so well. I don't know why, to be completely honest with you. I can talk about this iPad mini for hours because I'm telling you, it has changed everything in the way that I do it. With this iPad and shortcuts, I'm telling you, it's like a chef's kiss. Like, it's a match made for real. The last thing I want to talk to you about is this is my brand new, fully well, it's not fully spec'd out. The only thing on here that's not spec'd out is the hard drive. I have 4 TB instead of 8, but I have 96 gigs of RAM. I don't know why I keep wanting to say 98, but 96 gigs of RAM. And this is the fully spec'd out one. Why did I buy this? I bought this and I spent the 5600 on it because it removes a major friction point for me. I was so tired of dealing with the 16 gigs of RAM on my 14-inch screen, and I was so tired of dealing with a small screen. When I open this up, it makes me want to get to work. It makes me want to be productive. It makes me want to start writing an email or editing a video or working on a blog post or just doing normal everyday stuff that you do as a creator. And the last thing is my mouse. This mouse is my MX Master. This is the MX Master 3. Every time they come out with a new one, I upgrade to it. And this is one of the exceptions to it because every time they come out with a new one, they do it a little bit better. Like, for example, with the latest one they got is the MX Master S3, which is on my desk over there. I got it in white, and you can hear that clicks. Well, with the MX Master 3, it doesn't click at all. So when I'm sitting over at my desk and I'm doing a video, I don't have to worry about trying to cut out all those clicking sounds because it's too loud, because it's clickless. It doesn't make a sound, which is awesome. So I share all this to say this. When you're at Will Talk Tech, our single mission, our single focus with every tool I show you, with every unboxing I do, with every piece of software that I show you, with everything I do on this channel, is 110% about creating content effortless. Literally, that's it. At the end of the day, if you're ready to learn how to make creating content effortless, you should consider hitting the like button. And once you've watched 3 or more videos of me, might be time to consider subscribing. But until then, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'm Will from Will Talk Tech, and I'll catch you in the next video. Till next time. Later.